Yo, what's up YouTube? Brain Damage here. Today I thought I'm going to be bringing you my first tutorial on how to play Zerg basically in Starcraft 2. So as you can see here in the bottom left position we've got myself, Star's Brain. Then over here in the top right position we've got Svosco, who's going to be my Protoss enemy. So basically I'm going to just point out a few really useful bits and pieces. I mean, this was actually a really brilliant game, I thought. This is Gold League, although nonetheless these rules apply from Bronze to Masters, so it doesn't really matter which league you're in. I'm just going to be giving you a little bit of a heads up, sort of what things to look out for, what you can do, and all that kind of jazz basically. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started on casting this. So as you can see, I'm just going pretty standard, droning up 10, 9 Overlord, and then going to be throwing down a 15 hatch fast expand, because that's how I like to play against Protoss. So yeah, the probe's going over here, scouting the wrong position first. My Overlord also scouting the wrong position first, but nonetheless we will be able to find each other in just a moment, so that's not too much of a problem. Yeah, just chrono boosting out some probes right here, and got his pylon position at the front. A little bit of a late gateway, I would say. Usually want to throw that down straight after I've got the first pylon down, but then again I'm not a Protoss player, so what the hell do I know? And yeah, as you can see here, my drone's just going down. It's going to be throwing down this 15 hatch, getting ready to get a nice macro game on the way for me basically. So using my Overlord, seeing as he wasn't over here, I'm going to throw him straight up here. Well, yeah, just going to be taking him up there. And also second Overlord, I'm going to be positioning him around here, so that gives me the flexibility, as I don't know where my opponent is yet, whether to scout to this position or to scout to this position to see where he's at. And it's also really useful because I usually just keep him in the back, morph him to an Overseer as soon as I got that layer tech, and then I can just pop into the back of the base and scout his tech, stop a few from his buildings from building and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so my hatch is nearly up. The probe has now finally scouted me. I've got my gas and also got the pull. So the way I usually do it, I take 15 hatch, then I throw down a 14 pull, I make one drone, and then I get the gas, just for those of you who want to recreate this build at a later stage. So here we go, hatchery's nearly done. The drone, I usually always, when I see a probe coming into my base, what I usually do, I take the drone and basically just let him follow a probe to make sure that he doesn't throw down any proxy pylons or anything like that. I did the extractor trick right there, as I was getting a 16 Overlord, but I also wanted to get an extra set of lings, which means that I was out of supply by one to start building my queen, so that's why I did the extractor trick, so my queen wouldn't be delayed or anything like that. As you can see, here's the lings popping out, just going to be doing some scouting. Also get rid of this pesky little probe that's scouting around the base and everything. Yeah, I've also thrown down the spine crawler. I always like to do this just because of the fact that Protoss does like to put on some early pressure quite a lot of the times. And yeah, it just keeps you safe really, and it allows you a little bit more time to get those units out to defend that push. So having a look at my opponent, what he's doing right now, he is chrono boosting out a sentry, and then also he is throwing down his Nexus, and yeah, getting his cybernetics core, his Wapgate research on the way. Got quite a few pylons over here, just to make sure that he doesn't get supply blocked, I guess. My Overlord's just hanging out here in the corner. Guess I should have positioned him somewhere else. This game is by no means perfect. I mean, I still do quite a lot of mistakes, but then again, I am in Gold League, so you know. Anyway, yeah, and just droning up quite heavy, as you can see. Did a little drone transfer as well to get those spreaded out nicely, and just getting my layer tech on the way. Also, as soon as I start my layer tech, I usually like to grab that extractor if I am going for a 15 hatch fast expand. Over here, another queen coming out as well, and yeah, just pretty standard right now. I mean, not a lot of action or anything going on. So my opponent is throwing down a robo facility. He's got like 4 sentries here and not a single zealot yet. So I guess I could have put some early pressure on, but nonetheless, I think I will be fine anyway. So gateway, and a yeah, we've seen that robo already. So what's this, like a free gate robo expand or something like that? I'm not entirely sure on the Protoss builds, how exactly they work out and all that stuff. So as you can see, I always like to throw down roughly around 3 spine crawlers in the early stages of the game. Just keeps you really safe from all of those early harassments that would be coming in. Just getting a few lings right there and taking out that probe that came into scout, so you didn't see too much, you only saw those 3. I'm not sure why this drone is here. I think I wanted to build something with him, but must have just got rallied wrong or something, I don't know. So as you can see, I'm just taking my Zerglings now. How many have we got? 8 Zerglings, and they're going straight into the back of the base, so I'm just going to try and pick up a few of these drones, all those armies in position straight away. So just trying to run out here, he force fields me in, can't get out, so try to run out the other side, force fields me in again, can't get out. So my lings are kind of trapped, and I noticed there's a tiny little gap in here, so I just squeezed through the gap and basically saved those last 3 lings. And I've seen he didn't have too much army, so what you want to do is produce a ton of lings. As you can see, 20 in production right now, and I want to put on some early pressure, as there's just a lot of sentries and lings. Yeah, sentries is not exactly a good thing to counter lings, so you know, starting to work down on these back rocks a little bit, just gives me a little bit more flexibility to flank my enemy once the big fights will be happening, as there is an open way down here, and then also there will be an open way down here, so whichever way he comes I can just swing my units around from the other end. So as you can see, I'm just taking my lings and just putting on a bit of harass. Yeah, getting a nice surround there, and he won't really be able to do a lot to save his units, so all of these units are going to be taken out. Oops, another round of units. What have we got? 3 zealots. And yeah, they should be able to clear up those lings, although I'm still just like throwing them around, and as you can see, another 26 lings in production, as that was so successful. Took out nearly all of his army, so I'm just running straight into the main, just stopping these probes from mining, and also taking out a few of them. I'm not sure how many we've got exactly. So if I just check this out, I think it's L, yes, lost. So as you can see, my opponent's lost about 1300 minerals and I've lost 750, so it's definitely a trade you want to be taking as Zerg, as you do want to be trading armies as much as possible. Before I miss the action down here, the next set of lings comes in, pretty much the same story as from the beginning. He has got 3 zealots, although they won't be able to do much if there's just too many lings. And now I'm basically just starting to devastate his natural, and he's taken out pretty much all of his probes. I mean, I took so many probes out. Look at the loss tab again, already up on 2,700, so you know, it's like, wow, he's going to be behind now. And yeah, I thought I could run into the main and try and do more pressure and maybe try and end this game straight away, although he's got this force fielded. So I thought, you know what, let's just build up on the lead that I've got, take out his nexus, take down these 2 pylons there, produce a few more lings, and just macro up again basically. So yeah, in the base, in the meantime, not much going on, just more lings basically. And yeah, so I'm taking down all the rest of these structures here. You can't really do a lot. What have we got? A Templar Archive and also a Twilight Council, which indicates to me I'll probably be going for Templars, Archives, for Dark Templars, High Templars, or Archons, something around that. And here I actually tried to break through, but then again, it wasn't too good, but I did manage to take out that pylon, which depowered both of these buildings. Depowered, what's the stupid word to say? Unpowered. Anyway, I tried to squeeze in, but all of these zealots are basically just causing havoc on my links, so, you know, I did trade again a little bit, although I think that was not the best trade I could have possibly taken. But nonetheless, more lings on the way, and yeah, I thought I was going to be able to run them in, but he does get that force field in just in time, so I won't be able to do that much. But I thought, hey, you're force fielding, you've not got any units out, so what do? I'm going to take down your warp gate right here. And the warp gate does fall, and my lings do manage to get in, and I tried to take off another sentry, although it wasn't enough. But as you can see, what have we got? We've got layer tech up already. I'm missing all this stuff, too much action going on. In terms of the upgrades, we've got +1 upgrade on the way as well. And I also took a third over here. I didn't want to take this one down here, a little bit exposed, and I also didn't have the rocks cleared here on this gold yet, otherwise I would have gone for the gold straight away. Then here my overseer just comes in, does a little bit of scouting, stops those drones from building, probes from building, and then also I'm going to be stopping this warp gate from taking out. Although, that's quite a blunder, I didn't know that. I thought the warp gate would actually stop going up, but it did not. so that was a bit useless, but nonetheless good to know. So what else have we got? We've got another warp gate, another warp gate, and another 2 warp gates. I mean, there's quite a lot of warp gates for one base. I think you can support like 5 at a maximum from one base if you're doing like a all-in ridiculous push or something like that. He's retaken his Nexus down here. I should have scouted that, as I did have the units. I could have cancelled that once again. But yeah, I've got some roaches as well on the way now, because I did see that he's got like Archons and stuff on the way. So the Zealots as well. I mean, Lings are not the best counter for Zealots or anything like that, so you know, probably a good idea right here to start getting some roaches on the way. Also, with those roaches, as you can see over here, I've got my infestation pit. With the infestation pit, I get pathogen glands, which will help me to get those units fungal so they can't move out, or well, so they can't get away basically, and I can keep them in position whilst the rest of my army just tears through them basically. So as you can see, I'm splitting my forces here. Well, that wasn't intentionally, they just kind of did split themselves, and I tried to put on some more pressure. So I'm going to run back and just gonna pause here for just a second. Basically, as you can see, I'm putting on a lot of early pressure, constantly attacking, reinforcing, attacking, reinforcing, and seeing as I did so much damage at the beginning, I'm able to actually really build up a lead through this. As you can see, you know, I'm on 3 bases and my opponent is only just getting on 2 bases. So yeah, his second base is just finished, so I tried to run my links from the back and then coming with my roaches from the front, although his army is just a little bit too big to deal with those roaches. I did try and focus down those archons a little bit, but those Zealots are just tearing through my roaches, so I decided to fall back because I did not want him, well, I didn't want to give him the opportunity to come with a huge counter push and the kind of units in preparation for that. So 3 roaches all rallying back. I'm just going to group up a few more units just around the front of my base basically. So as you can see here as well, I always position my evolution chamber sort of on the edge of the ramp, and then I throw down the spines that I had earlier, repositioned them. Also put down a spore crawler, as I knew there's probably going to be some Dark Templars or something on the way, although he's only using Archons for the moment, so I'm not sure what exactly is going on, but we'll see. And then more roaches coming in from here. My base is starting to get saturated down here. Get my first few infestors out. He's got his little overseer up here. I didn't have any units that I could have taken him out with. I did spot that, but I just thought, you know, it's only a little observer, he won't be able to do that much, so let's just let him chill there for a little minute. Also getting the roach speed on the way, and also burrow tech I think is already done. Yeah, looks like it. Already done, I missed that. And yeah, just to give you a few pointers, sort of the way I try to evolve my game usually is what I try to do. Basically, once I get up to 2 bases and I get my layer tech on the way, as soon as that layer tech's done, I throw down the infestation pit. As soon as that's done, I put down the pathogen glands. As soon as that's done, I want to get the neural parasite. Neural parasite only against Protoss though, and against Terran it's really no use against Zerg. I've found that out, as you can't control most of the units from them, so it's really just for the fungals. So as you can see, just saturating my bases up and just getting my economy on the way. So much being researched right now, as you can see. Also starting to get my layer my hive tech on the way. And that's also a good indication point. Once you get your hive tech on the way, you want to throw down your spire, and once your spire is done, you basically want to get out 3 corruptors straight away, or maybe 5, depends on how much minerals and all that rest and all that stuff you've got left over. So as you can see, before I derive and miss anything here, it's got the Nexus going down here, so he's trying to take a 3rd right in front of my base basically. I am pushing out, although his army is quite a lot bigger than mine, so I decided to fall back, and now I've got my infestors on the way, so I'm just going to try and get some nice fungals off there to turn that fight into my favour. So as you can see, roaches engaging, fungals with the infestors, just kiting them around so the zealots can't get to them, throwing down more fungals, also taking over these Archons, which will do a ton of damage to his own units. As you can see, more and more Archons getting taken down, more roaches coming in to clean up this basically, and then start to tear down these Archons. And yeah.